Hi there, you're watching Time Warner Cable's local edition. This is the Sacramento Report. I'm Jaime Garza, and joining me today is Senator Mark Desaulnier. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
I understand that you're working on some legislation dealing with smoke-free workplace. When I hear this, don't we already have smoke-free workplaces?
We do, and California led the nation almost 20 years ago. When I was in local government in Contra Costa County in the Bay Area, we did a lot of local ordinances, and then in 1994, the state of California passed the first comprehensive smoke-free workplace legislation that went in effect in 1998. Now, 15 years later, 26 other states have gone beyond us and closed a lot of loopholes that we allowed 15, 20 years ago.
Well, let's focus on those loopholes because that's what this legislation aims to do, correct?
That's
so
right.
What are the loopholes we're looking at in terms of, what can we see or smell?
Well, there are a lot of things that people never anticipated, like hookah bars. Those have grown a lot, and there's a lot of question about employees being exposed to that secondhand smoke. It's very trendy. My kids try to tell me, our generation likes it, we do it, but it has the same kind of negative effects that cigarettes and cigars have on people who aren't smoking.
Well, let me interrupt you there. A hookah bar, when you're going to go in there, there's going to be smoke. So if you're going to apply for a job like that, you already know what the environment will be like, correct?
That's true, and people said that 15 years ago. I've spent 35 years in the restaurant business, owning and managing them, and people said, well, if you're going in a bar or a restaurant, this is what you're going to be exposed to. The other side of that, people like myself, who was a non-smoker, and people who work there, we don't necessarily do that voluntarily. We choose to, yes, but we're exposed to secondhand smoke, and there's a huge cost to that to the rest of society. Mm-hmm. So we've known in the United States and California, we've led the world in trying to allow people who like to smoke the right to smoke, but in a way that doesn't affect the rest of us, including people who are looking for a job.
But when you deal with a hookah bar or let's say a cigar bar, the main purpose there is to smoke. So do there need to be protections for the workers when they know before they apply for that job that it's a smoking establishment?
Well, we actually, on the cigar shop idea, when we originally started in this bill, we were going to not allow them to do it there either. But we took that out. I listened to people who own the businesses, and I realized that those were a unique experience. Having said that, like in so many pieces of legislation, we're trying to balance conflicting constituencies. And the overall aim has always been in California to look at things that cause a detrimental effect on public health, both individually and collectively. So this still costs California billions of dollars in taking care of people who inhale secondhand smoke. And some of those folks, they choose to work there, but we all know right now with 12% unemployment, you choose to work, you get a job, and you don't want to be exposed to secondhand smoke.
Let's talk about some of the other loopholes. I didn't mean to veer you off there, but that's one of the concerns that people may have.
It's an important concern, and we're trying to balance those things. I've talked to people, as somebody who owned businesses, who signed long-term leases on, like, cigar shops. They didn't anticipate this kind of thing, so we accommodated them. We continue to try to accommodate those folks while still looking to protect the overall public health. Other examples are motel and hotel lobbies. Most of them already don't allow smoking. Hotels currently are required to have 35% of their rooms smoke-free. In actuality, most of them are higher than that, so we're going to raise the total to 75%. Lots of little things like that, and as I say, things that we would not have anticipated and things that we sort of let go 15 years ago.
So just elevating some of the requirements is what you're looking at.
That's what we're doing.
Things that might already be in place.
And as I say, 24 other states have already closed these things, including the District of Columbia.
Interesting indeed. Senator Mark Desaulnier, thank you so much, and thank you at home for watching Time Warner Cable's local edition, the Sacramento Report. Remember that you can always catch this interview, as well as many others, by simply going to My Government On Demand, and you'll find that on Channel 1.